Hi guys. What do we have today? We have predictions for 10 NBA games for December 14th. So, let's get started. Detroit Pistons and Charlotte Hornets. The Pistons are playing well, but they are having difficulty finishing with a victory. They've dropped 7 of their previous 9 games overall and will want to snap a 3-game losing streak today. The Hornets have dropped 6 of their previous 7 games and will be looking to stop a 5-game losing streak today. Head-to-head in Charlotte in the last 6 games, the Pistons are 2-4 ATS. The Hornets still have a lot of names on the injured list. Although matchups between both teams are tough to predict, the Pistons are currently in much better form and have fewer injured players. Among other reasons, the Pistons are one of the bettor's favorite teams this season. The Pistons have a 7-0 ATS record in their previous 7 away games. Here, I will take the guest team to cover the spread. Play Detroit Pistons +4. Golden State Warriors and Indiana Pacers. The Warriors are in good form, having won 6 of their past 10 games. I'm referring to the Warriors' home games when I say they're in good form. In yesterday's game against the Bucks, in Milwaukee, the Warriors displayed nothing except helplessness and frustration of not being able to stop the Bucks. The Pacers have played their previous 3 games in front of their home fans after 7 power straight away games, but they are also struggling in Indiana. They have only won 1 of their last 3 games at home. The Warriors are playing their 3rd game in 4 nights, and all 3 games include travel. This season the Warriors have won only 2 of their 14 away games. In the previous 5 meetings in Indiana, the Warriors are 2-3 ATS, and the Warriors have won the last 2 games in Indiana between those 2 teams. Play Indiana Pacers +2.5. Atlanta Hawks and Orlando Magic. The Hawks are in bad shape, having lost 7 of their last 10 games. The Magic are striving for their 4th straight win right now, showing that they have rebounded from their disappointing 9-game losing streak. The Hawks have several internal issues. When I say internal issues, I mean player injuries, player-coach relationships, and other organizational issues. All of these have recently hurt their playing. The Magic have been a nice surprise recently, but not so much that I trust them. They're playing great right now, especially at home, but I believe the Hawks will have an advantage in rebounding today, giving them second chance points. This will be a close and challenging game for both teams, but I think the Hawks will win by more than 1 possession. The Hawks are 4-0 ATS in the previous 4 meetings in Orlando. Play Atlanta Hawks -2. Sacramento Kings and Toronto Raptors. The Kings are on a back-to-back and this is their 3rd game in 4 nights. They have been in good form, winning 4 of their last 7 games overall, but here they will be looking to avoid a 3rd consecutive defeat. The Raptors have been in poor form, having lost 5 of their last 7 games, and they, like the Kings, will be looking to avoid a 3rd consecutive defeat tonight. This season, the Kings have struggled in back-to-back games. Only in 1 of their last 3 back-to-back games this season they covered the spread. They were not particularly convincing in back-to-back games even at the start of the season, and now that the season has moved sufficiently since its start, it will be even more difficult for them. It's difficult to cheer for a team that's playing its 3rd game in 4 days, with travel included, against a squad that's out of shape but totally rested and playing at home. In the last 5 games in Toronto, between those 2 teams, the Kings covered the spread only in 2. Play Toronto Raptors -4. New York Knicks and Chicago Bulls. The Knicks have been playing well recently, winning 5 of their previous 7 games, and they'll be keen to extend their 4-game winning streak. They managed a convincing run of victories after a long stretch of hit-or-miss performance and are finally competing as a team with playoff ambitions this year. There is a possibility that the Knicks will be without Jalen Brunson in this game. The Bulls have lost 4 of their last 6 games and have been struggling. This season, they have battled to create a rhythm and consistency, particularly at the point guard position. As a result of Lonzo Ball's absence from the lineup this season, the squad has suffered on both ends of the floor. Despite their terrible form, the Bulls perform okay at home. They won 7 of their 12 games at home. In the last 5 games in Chicago between those 2 teams, the Knicks covered the spread only in 2 of them. The Knicks have been in a groove over their last 4 games, but I think that will end here. I expect a competitive game here, but I believe the home team will manage to win and cover the spread. Play Chicago Bulls -2.5. Miami Heat and Oklahoma City Thunder. The Heat have been playing decent ball lately, having split their last 6 games. The Thunder are in bad shape, having lost 8 of their previous 12 games, and will aim to stop a 3-game losing run tonight. The Heat have won only 4 of 13 road games this season. They are playing pretty weirdly this season. Occasionally they lose games that were already won on paper, and sometimes they win games that everyone thought they would lose. Yes, they had a lot of issues with injured players, but even that misled bettors at times, as they won games with fewer than 8 healthy players ready to play, and lost when they were fully healthy. The Thunder has been one of my favorite teams since the previous season. In 5 of their previous 7 games, they had covered the spread. Every time they beat the spread, they first let their opponent take a sizable early lead before catching up and covering the spread. They won't stand a chance of winning this game if they allow the Heat to do that. Here, I'll back the visiting team to win and cover the spread. The Thunder are a young and not overly experienced team, while the Heat are made up of experienced veterans who have had enough time to rest for this game. Play Miami Heat -2. Portland Trailblazers and San Antonio Spurs. The Trailblazers are in the midst of a strong streak, having won 4 of their previous 5 games. They will be going for their 3rd straight win in this game. The Spurs are aiming for a 4th straight victory here as they appear to have recovered from their dismal 11-game losing run. They have been playing well in recent games, and it appears that they have discovered a lineup that can change the direction that this team is taking. Regardless of whether they were winning or losing, the Trailblazers always play entertaining basketball, but they especially looked good since Lillard rejoined the lineup. I enjoy watching their games. This is the 2nd game between these two teams this season. In the first game in Portland, the Trailblazers defeated the Spurs 117-110. Over their last 5 games, the Trailblazers had the most offensive efficiency, scoring 121.6 points per 100 possessions while allowing 112.6. The Spurs averaged 109 points per 100 possessions while surrendering 117.4. Because both of these teams favor offense above defense, I'm going with total points to go over. Play Portland Trailblazers and San Antonio Spurs over 230. Cleveland Cavaliers and Dallas Mavericks. The Cavaliers have won 4 of their previous 7 games and are in good shape. The Mavericks have recently been playing well, and they, like the Cavs, have won 4 of their previous 7 games. Unlike last season, when the Mavericks performed much better on the road, they have performed significantly better at home this season. This season, they won 11 of 15 games at home. They still rely heavily on Luka, but it appears like, in the last few games, they've begun to find ways to play better ball without his help. The Cavaliers in the underdog role are interesting because you can make a solid claim that they're the better team here, but I'm not convinced that's the case right now and in this match. The Cavaliers, in particular, struggle on the road. They have lost 9 of their 14 road games, averaging only 110.3 points per 100 possessions and allowing 109.2 points per 100 possessions. In the last 8 games between those two teams overall, the Cavaliers are 2-6 ATS. Play Dallas Mavericks -1. Washington Wizards and Denver Nuggets. The Wizards have been in dreadful form, having dropped 10 of their previous 11 contests, and they will be looking to avoid losing for the 8th time in a row tonight. The Nuggets are in good form right now, having won 6 of their previous 9 games, and they will be going for a 3rd consecutive win today. The Wizards' injury report has a long list of names. This appears to be a situation in which the coach recognizes his team, no matter what, will lose the game and decides to rest his best players as a result. But maybe I'm wrong. Since the start of the season, the Nuggets have played a very good ball in the majority of their games, but they occasionally take their fans by unpleasant surprise. Although they have a 7-3 record at home and are currently playing well, I believe this game may upset Nuggets supporters. The Wizards belong to that group of those teams against which the Nuggets recently do not have much success, especially in Denver. In the last 5 games between those two teams, the Wizards won and covered the spread in 3 of them. Regardless of the circumstances in which these two teams find themselves, I believe the Wizards are significantly undervalued by this line. Play Washington Wizards +10. Minnesota Timberwolves and Los Angeles Clippers. The Timberwolves are in a rut, having dropped 6 of their previous 9 games overall, and they'll be looking to snap a 2-game losing streak tonight. The Clippers have been playing well lately, having won 3 of their previous 5 games, and here they'll be looking for their 3rd straight victory. The Clippers have been among the top defensive teams since the start of the season. Leonard and George's comeback not only helped the offense but also the defense, which got even better. The Timberwolves will only stay within striking distance of the Clippers in this game if they have a fantastic shooting night and bury a ton of threes on the Clippers, but there is a very slim chance of that happening given that they rank among the worst teams in the league for three-point shooting when playing away from home with only 32.9%. They have lost 3 of their last 4 games on the road, sitting 29th in defensive efficiency, allowing 124 points per 100 possessions while scoring 116.4 per 100 possessions. In the last 6 games between those two teams in Los Angeles, the Timberwolves covered the spread only in 1 of them. Here, I will take the home team to win and cover the spread. Play Los Angeles Clippers -5.5. Guys, that would be all. See you tomorrow.